guys, the nights are starting to get cooler, the geese are starting to fly, and that can only mean one thing. Fall's just kind of around the corner. Kind of continuing on hauling some more firewood in, getting ready for this year's winter. And I got a bunch of oak and some basswood that was kind of cut this spring that is definitely not ready to burn this year. So I kind of had to break into kind of the middle of the pile and kind of work my way down. But I've also been a little slacking on bringing firewood in this year, a little bit here and there, but I definitely got to cover some ground here, otherwise I'll have quite the project in the near future. So today we're going to get some wood hauled in. So before I kind of start diving into stacking all this stuff, there is one thing I kind of really wanted to point out to you guys. If you look, I generally tend to stack my wood on pallets, and usually kind of 2 pallets, kind of put you in a rough ballpark of a cord of wood. And the one thing I didn't do was, you know, I always kind of do this cross stacking method, but I wasn't doing cross stacking on both ends. So if you look, I got 1 pallet here, 1 pallet here, and then the cross stack happens here. And then I didn't start cross stacking again right next to that. So if I were to move, you know, this whole thing, and I want to take this wall, of course, then there's no support for all this wood here. And then I get stuck with this kind of half pallet sticking up if I were to pick all these pallets up and kind of clean things up. And it took me a little while to kind of figure that stuff out, you know. I didn't do it at all down there, and it took quite a long time for me to kind of put 2 and 2 together here. So if you kind of look here, you know, we got cross stacking down here at the end, goes cross stacking, and then the next set of 2 pallets and cross stacking at the end. So then it's a little bit more modular, and you can kind of pick that stuff up. And that was something I kind of learned the hard way. Fortunately, I've kind of done all those piles over there like that, but wasn't exactly thinking too much when I was doing this. I was just trying to get wood out as quick as possible so I'd have some dry wood here in the future, which is kind of now. So. To share one other little quick tip with you guys. If you just get a stove, you know, this winter or something, and you're scrounging trying to find wood, nice dry wood, generally they say 20% or less, especially with some of those new EPA stoves, start looking at ash firewood. It's a nice hard firewood. It doesn't have a lot of moisture content to lose to kind of get below 20%, which is kind of optimal burn moisture content, something 20% or less. I mean, a few videos back, we were kind of checking on some wood down there on the oak, and I was getting 42%, and that was cut last fall. This stuff was just cut, just split. Now if we take a moisture reading here, you know, this piece is reading 28, 29%. So if I was in a pinch and desperately needed firewood, ash wood is definitely the wood I would go after.